Welcome everybody here today for Bar TV. We're at the greater NHRU Premier 1 qualifying semi-finals, live to all around the world. And with me today, Jimmy Gardner. How are you, Jimmy?
Good, thanks, Gareth. A big day of rugby, mate. I can't wait. The weather's holding off, it looks like. There's even some blue in the sky, so hopefully conditions don't look too bad out there, really, considering the amount of rain we've had. So obviously massive game. Hamilton running second on the competition ladder, Southern Beach is third. Southern Beach is on the back of 6 straight wins, so there's very little between these teams. A fair bit in experience in terms of the finals. Southern Beaches have been to the finals twice, yet to win a game of any magnitude in the semi-finals, whereas Hamilton are old pros. They've been in the last 3 grand finals and been there before, and the most dominant team of the past decade. So shapes up as a real belter, and I can't wait for them to rip in.
Yes, and the skies have cleared. The ground looks absolutely immaculate here at number 2 Sports Ground. It's purpose-built for rugby, and what a great facility, Jimmy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they spent $9 million on the place, and we're seeing why now. I mean, it's bone dry out there. Drainage fantastic. Grandstand covers 1,500 people. Everyone's here in comfort. All that we need now is a good game.
Yeah, and I think we will have a good game. The last time we watched these two teams, Jimmy, it was a very close encounter. I think the Beaches side just missing out on that one. Semi-final time, though, the guys should strap in.
Yeah, absolutely. Hamilton have won both encounters. I think it was 31-13 in round 2 a long way ago. They dominated that clash, but their second meeting in round 11 at Passmore Oval was only 21-14. Both teams have really improved since then, particularly Beaches. Really impressed with their forward pack. And in past years, they've had a very strong forward pack, but they really haven't offered that much in attack. Not only have they, when they've had the players, they haven't had the confidence to use them, whereas this season, they've got a far more expansive game. I think there's some issues around Hamilton at the moment, around their 9 and 10. Vasafaye Lee is down playing with the Greater Rams, the halfback. Ivan Walkley, who's his normal backup, has gone overseas. That leaves Matt Ferry in the hot seat. He's played a lot of second grade. Good little player, but probably doesn't have the confidence to really take hold of a team in a finals. The other issue has been fly half. At the start of the year with Paul Dan, he did his knee, and then Jason Keeling came in and did a magnificent job, but he's got osteopubis. And today they're trying their third 5'8" in 3 weeks, and that's Liam Fallen, only new to rugby. I won't say new to rugby, but new back to rugby. Had 5 or 6 years in rugby league. Played mainly wing and fullback, but is in the most important position on the park today at fly half. So probably an indication they play a bit more direct. I'm not sure how good a ball player is, but he's a confident guy. He'll stick his hand up and say, let me rip in. So, mate, I've talked for half an hour now without giving you a word. So.
That's all right. I'm quite happy to sit there and listen to you all day, Jimmy. Mate, makes my job a lot easier.
You take over during the game, so I'll give you all the trivia prior to it, and you just the hard, fast facts during the game. So
hard and fast it is. So let's go through the teams now, Jimmy. I'll go through Hamilton. And the side is, number 1, Pete Bacharach. 2 and hooker, Steve Lamont. He's captain as well today. Number 3, Fave Silla. Number 4, Matausi Tabua. I can never get that one right. Number 5, Chris Nagy. 6, Joe Ackersdyke. 7, Pete Maxwell. 8, Gareth Tilse. 9, Matt Ferry, as you mentioned. 10, Liam Fallen. 11, Arti Ikonomu. 12, Ratu Delanamate. 13, Eric Vasikikilaku. 14, Tim Walton, and 15, back in the team, Ben Harris.
Yeah, for Southern Beach, this is a pretty settled lineup. The 2 front rowers are the big boppers, Willie Fraser and William So. The hooker is Hayden Gavin. The second row, Matt Lazzini and Mika Iopa. Matt Lazzini will end up in front row probably late in the game. He covers very versatile man. The back row's got a lot of mobility about it. Glenn Stone, Ray Furphy, and of course Bartella Lever, their inspirational leader. Halfback is Marty Delore. The wingers are Daniel Marshall and Andrew Delore. 5'8" is Irishman Mark Butler, and in the centres Michael Delore and Tyler Austell. So I mentioned that back line. I really like the look of it at the moment. Tyler Austell's moved, played a lot of fullback, a lot of wing, but he's really made that outside centre his own. He's a big, strong lad, runs hard, gives him some go forward, and he's really direct. And the guy that's come in halfway through the season, KG Lamb from New Zealand, he's a real live wire sort of zip man. He chipped and chased in the first minute. He'll take him on, he'll back himself. So he gives them that X factor which they haven't had in previous years.
Yeah, I expect a lot of counter-attacking from this Beaches side. I think we saw last time. I don't think Lamb kicked the ball once all game, apart from that chip and chase from himself, as you mentioned. And again, Ben Harris as well. He's another guy that backed himself. The 2 fullbacks here could decide this game, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Ben Harris back in. 18 months ago, he was the world was at his feet. He got drafted into the New South Wales Waratahs for an A game against Fiji. Was playing with New South Wales country. He has this real bad lower back issue that's really knocked him around. He played in the grand final last year, but he's hardly played a game of first grade this year, been stuck in second grade. But he gets his chance today, and I think he's one that will take it. He's a confidence kid. He'll take over the goal kicking as well. And they're really going to need him and Eric Eric to stand up out the wide, and up front is really where it's going to be a real battle. Both teams are big bruising packs. I really like the look of the Hamilton back row. Joe Ackersdyke's got a couple of games under his belt now with fitness. Gareth Tilse, who was used at halfback last time we saw this team, back at number 8. And Pete Maxwell, he's iron hard, and he'll be on the ball all day. So it's going to be a cracking game. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. Let's talk a little bit about these front row. I mean, the Beaches front row, it's an absolutely massive setup. Those two big willies, I mean, they have a lot of punch in them.
They do. They both clock the scales about 160 kg, and they're both lost weight, they tell me. So, in particular, been impressed with William So. I mean, I saw him 12 months ago. He could hardly walk. He was 190 kilos, but he's got his life. He told me, he's had a lifestyle change. He's doing some physical labour now. And for a guy that big, he does go. I mean, he just plays on heart, and he does pride himself on pulling off a hit or making a dent in the defensive line. Now, if he's 5 metres out, he's very hard to stop with the ball in his hand. So he's one that will be looking to have a big impact. How he goes against the Hamilton front row, they're pretty much half the size, you think. Favacilla's got a bit of size about him. He's a kid out of Colts. He'd be probably 120k, but Peter Backrach could play on the wing or play inside centre. He's for a loose-head prop. He's tiny. And Steve Lamont, for mine's the best hooker in the game, certainly in the game. I mean, the Newcastle game.
Sign him up, Wallabies. We need someone anyway.
Mate, he's a great line to throw. He did play the first half of the year at breakaway, but when he went away to country, they took him there as their preferred hooker, and he's come back from country and he's kept that number 2 jumper. He's an inspirational type player. Both captains are. You look at Bartalaliva, who of course played many years with Hamilton. I think he's favourite for the Anderson medal. I'd be very surprised if anyone comes over the top to take the best and fairest award of him. That'd be second.
Yeah.
As we said, there's great matchups right across the pitch here, and
it's going to be a good matchup, mind you. The two number 8s, Gareth Tilse, the new man in the Hamilton team, and Bartalaliva, of course, a Hamilton legend now at Beaches. I mean, it's the young colt versus the old warhorse, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great story, Gareth Tilse. I mean, his brother Jeremy plays prop for the New South Wales Waratahs, but he was playing with his mates for the Cooksville Brown Snakes for the past couple of years. Had a chat to Hamilton. It was keen to test himself at a higher level, and hasn't he been a revelation? Big and strong, and got some good skills. I mean, he slotted in at halfback last week, and he is their backup halfback from now on. I mean, he didn't look out of place. I mean, his service was probably not as quick as you'd expect from a regular number 9, but his positioning and his decision making was all very strong. So
his goal kicking, however, did let him down, but he did have probably the best style I've seen in the NHRU this year, Jimmy.
It was a cross between Johnny Wilkins and a number of others, I think, from mine, but. Yeah, Benny Harris will take over the goal kicking today. And again, with his goal kicking, he can be hot and cold. If he's on, he's lethal. But it'd be interesting to see Rob Delbo's got this game, refereeing. Interesting to see how he interprets the breakdown. He's one that
he doesn't mind a card, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. Yeah,
I've been at the brunt of a couple of his yellow cardings, couple of weird decisions. So let's hope he keeps the game free flowing today as the teams run out on the field now. The crowd getting absolutely wild for the Hamilton side. They'll be in the hooped blue and gold colours today. Unsure of which way they're running yet. As the crowd on their feet, it's an absolutely marvellous day here in at number 2.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. 2 hours ago, the rain was coming sideways. It was the sky was a blanket of grey, but now there's sun's out. There's some blue in the sky, and everything is set for a cracking game.
And here we see the Beaches side led out by number 8, Bartalaliva, as the players meet in the middle for the customary handshake. The crowd is going absolutely wild. This is going to be an absolute cracking game. But it's semi-final times. I'm absolutely excited. Yeah, how do you see this going, Jimmy?
Well, I think there's some real issues for mine for the Hamilton 9 and 10. I think they're not confident themselves. I think the Beaches can get an upset here. I know when we say an upset, there's not a great deal between these teams, but in experience, there is. For mine, the Beaches might just get home for their first semi-final win. Yeah,
the Beaches side with the blue on the back of their jerseys. Both teams have the blue and gold hoops, I guess, but the Beaches side for the viewers at home are in the lighter blue. Hamilton in the dark blue and gold here, and it looks as though the teams are getting huddled and ready for the coin toss. As Rob Delbo picks up the coin, it looks like Hamilton will be running towards Marketown. So from right to left on your screens, as the captains go back to the huddles, and you can just feel the atmosphere here. Both teams getting absolutely pumped. It's going to be some cracking big hits in this game, I think, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think the first 10 minutes will really be willing. Both teams will be determined to set their authority up front. Look for Bartalaliva, the number 8 for Beaches. Looks like they're swapping ends now, so Hamilton will be running right to left towards the Cathedral, as you would expect for the Catholic Club. We've mentioned that before, and Beaches running from the north to south, heading away from away from town.
Speaking of the Catholic club, Jimmy, I didn't mind your cameo on Australian Story the other night.
Well, mate, it's a working newsroom, mate, so... Joan McCarthy, our leading investigative reporter, fantastic job with that. She's won every award in the world there is. Of course, sparked the Royal Commission into the Catholic Church and pedophilia. So that's what we're here to talk about today, though. We're here to talk about some rugby.
Definitely not. As the Beaches side now look to kick off through Butler. Butler certainly getting this team going straight.
Yeah, since he's moved to 10, he's been fantastic. He's got a great boot in him. He can put this nice and high.
And here we go for the kickoff. As we get set, Beaches players ready, and the kickoff is a good one on about over the 40-metre line to the 30. It gets knocked back by the Hamilton side, and they take it in slowly and nicely. Ferry at the back. Passes out now. Takes it in. Steve Lamont, nice.
Flat-footed there, wasn't he? You don't expect that from him. He's normally 100% in everything he does.
Yeah, just early game nerves, but there by the Hamilton side. They hoof the ball downfield. Lamb trips over himself, and it's a big kick, and it's going all the way back to the in goal. And it looks like Lamb will ground the ball as they take the ball out to the 22-metre line. And that's a big kick to get themselves out of their danger zone, Jimmy. And they'll probably play field position today.
Yeah, Benny Harris has got a big roost on him, but I think that's probably an indication that the wind is certainly coming from the south. Right in the back of Hamilton, so they'll be looking for a good start.
Oh, Butler goes for the tricky one and finds Delore on the wing. He makes a little break there. Taken down there about 5 metres from halfway. Ball at the back there for Big Willie.
He's still going 3 or 4
Willie
with him.
Fraser taking.
Tiptoeing down the sideline there, probably not the ideal option for him, but good start from both teams. Beaches already showing that they're willing to test their arm, which is unlike Beaches. Tim Chidgey coaches them, and he's very methodical in what he does.
Line out, probably not quite straight there, but play on. As ball goes to forward now, Ratu with the ball. Ratu dummies, runs into his own player and takes the ball to about halfway there. Ferry at the back, good positioning, digging around. Ball taken forward by Chris Nagy. Little play off the back there, taking the ball nicely in. Safety first here from Hamilton's. Bacharach picks up from the back, and they take it forward again. May have lost the ball here. No, the Hamilton players drive over.
Well, they're just sneaking up on the outside here, Beaches.
Oh, Ratu absolutely taken there by Big Willie. Yeah. And that's unlucky there. Maybe a little bit offside. No, he's caught a high tackle, Rob Delbo. But I tell you what, he didn't see him coming and absolutely flattened him, Jimmy.
He did. He was sort of sneaking up on the referee's backside there. I think he's probably a metre offside as well. But yeah, I mean, that's his game. As he says it, he likes to hit blokes from the blind side, put a big shot on early. He certainly did that, but that one just slipped up a little bit above the shoulders, and a penalty warranted, and there's an opportunity for Hamilton to kick this nice and deep.
So Willie So, the front rower with a big hit. He's the guy without the blonde hair, the big blonde-headed guy that you'll see on your screen is Willie Fraser, the two big Willies. I'll say that all day. It's a mouthful, though.
It is, and they really need them to aim up if they're going to get the job here. Great line out this one. Great platform for Hamilton to test their new look back line. It looks like Big Fiji and Marta's out in the centres.
Yes, and takes the ball through the line, makes a little break, short ball to the Beaches, and that's unlucky there for the Hamilton side, who probably should have taken it to ground and forces the pass, and the Beaches side are on their own line, and Hamilton driving over, could get the ball back here in a counter ruck, and the ball taken back, and that's a 5-metre scrum, I think. Oh, no, I think he's called a 5-metre scrum, Jimmy.
Yeah, Liam Forlam at 5'8". First thing he did was tuck the ball under his arm and run and beat through 2 defenders. I think we'll see more of that today. As I said, I don't think he'll be linking too much with his outside men. He'll be playing pretty direct, and so far, so good.
Yeah, interesting. They've actually dropped Vasagotti, who was there last week, and they brought Rata into the inside centre position, which definitely seems like they're going to go more direct here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as he's played for Queensland Country, started here on the wing, but he's played a lot of centre, so I certainly don't think they'll miss too much there. Interesting, he's right in Liam Forlam's hip pocket here.
Yeah, look, I think there's going to be a little short ball here, I think. As the Hamilton side look to take the quick tap with the short arm penalty. Is he going to repack the scrum here? I think he is, yes. They've taken the repack.
Yeah, important scrum this one, particularly for Hamilton. They want to keep this nice and straight, or at least perhaps wheel it to the right, just so they can open up that open side. No doubt Beaches will try and put a bit of pressure on them.
Yeah,
so
plenty of space on the blind too, with maybe Tills coming off the back. Little quick tap there, no, and that's a Beaches short arm penalty for binding too early, I believe. And that's a big let off there.
It's going to be a real battle, that scrum. It's going to be one of the mind as much as it is power. Oh, you just look at the two sides. Southern Beach is much, much bigger than than Hamilton, but Hamilton have probably got more experience in terms of representative players and the new technique with reference to the new rules.
That's a poor kick there by Butler as Harris now pounces on the ball, comes in, joins. Oh, that's a pressure pass there as he beats his man and gets around, and he's made a little break. That's a good little chip in front. The Hamilton players coming through, but Butler there to clean up, and that's good enterprising play there by the Hamilton Hawks.
Yeah, both teams they're looking to test their arm early, which is beds through, sort of goes through a good game. I'd like to see Hamilton play a little bit straighter. They certainly did. That first 5 or 6 phases, it was the Hamilton of old. I think of the two, they like to get into a grind.
Yeah, big Vasaki Lukaku putting the little chip over there as the players now set for a scrum. Certainly the chance in their arm, that's for sure.
Yeah, particularly on the counter-attack, isn't it? And that's where Benny Harris just had a quick look up, had some numbers on his right, he shifted it there and nearly paid dividends.
Yeah, Beach's side getting ready now, and the scrum looked pretty solid in that first encounter down on their own line, but I think the Beach's side might lift here on their own engagement and look to push Hamilton off the ball. Can get a little bit lazy though, the Beach's side, as Hamilton dig deep and push them back as Vartalieva takes it off the back, and that's a big run there by Vartalieva as he loses the ball though. Poor defence, and Rob Dalbo blows the penalty, and that's a penalty to Beaches, letting them off.
Away there. The tackle player, a good tackle. It was a great defence by Loon falling on Vartalieva, but he just didn't get away quick enough, and a penalty to the Beaches and a chance to relieve some pressure.
Yeah, definitely relieving the pressure there. Vartalieva taking them forward as he does all day long. Butler with the ball in his hand now. He shanked that last one. Let's hope he can make touch this time and take the pressure off the Beaches side and get them into their own half. And he's
an interesting story. Butler, he's an Irishman. He's played a lot of Gaelic football. So obviously Gaelic football, they use a round ball, but certainly he's playing football in one season and Gaelic football in the other. So 12 month a year man football.
Yeah, apparently he's a pretty mad Irishman too, Butler. As the ball comes in for the Beaches' first line out throw, and they set them all, and this is a good option there with the bigger pack of the two as they drive them all forward over the halfway line, coming forward still, and Hamilton counter-mauling really well. And the ball's out now to Butler, and big Willie So gets the ball. He's a hard man to put down. He takes 3 or 4 with him. Quick ball out the back, and Vartalieva juggles the ball, has a big look. Probably not the best option there.
Yeah, they had an overlap there, but he just sort of, I think he was still reading the play bar and had a quick look, and the ball's in front of him. And as Pete Bacharach makes a little burst from the back of a ruck.
Yeah, good run there by Bacharach. As the Hamilton guys come over now, Ferry at the back directing them. And that's a penalty to the Hamilton Hawk side.
Yeah, I thought he got isolated there for a minute, Pete Bacharach. He sort of went that yard extra. They were slow to get there, Hamilton, but not as slow as the Beaches, who were caught with hands in the ruck. And this, you would think, is a fairly comfortable shot for goal. 38 metres out, virtually directly in front. Yeah,
Ben Harris, as you mentioned, has got a super boot on him, both in the field of play and goal kicking. But, I mean, just on 40 metres with the wind behind him, it should be a pretty easy kick, this one, as they set the ball up. And we are coming live for you today for the Newcastle Herald, and, of course, on Bar TV, the home of grassroots sports all over the world. And if you are watching us at home, in the comfort of your lounge room, or in a pub for that matter, get on your smartphone and give us a tweet at Gareth Wazick or at James Gardner 42. And he takes the kick, and it looks good, and it is good. Flags go up, and that's 3-0 to the Hamilton side here. Semi-final day in the qualifying semi-final.
Yeah, 8 minutes gone. Pretty good start for both teams, I think. Just a bit of an arm wrestle so far. Hamilton will need that point, so they'd like to get something with the wind and the amount of possession they've had. Important now for Southern Beaches to hit back.
As Butler comes back, he's calling a 3-play from behind the ball. That's code for probably kick it deep, I reckon. As he bounces the ball on halfway line, he gets set. Here comes the restart. And that's a good kick as the Beaches players come through and take out the man with the ball. I think it's Nagy. Yes, it is, on the bottom of the ruck there. Little darting run there up through the middle from Ferry. Ferry with a break. He's got no one with him. He slides over. He's looking for players, and he finds Big
Marta, the big PT. He's so hard to put down. He's still going. Great leg drive. Now he needs a quick place. They've got numbers on the left here, the Hawks.
Cuts out Tills. Now Rata's got the ball. Good little short ball there. He's got one on the outside. Vasakikakaku in the clear, and Vasakikakaku will go over the line to score the Hamilton Hawks' first try, and that's a good piece of play here by the Hawks, and really exploiting that short numbers there, Jimmy.
Yeah, and that all comes down to Matt Ferry. He backed himself. That's what we want to see. A new kid in the spot. That was probably been the criticism of him. He wasn't decisive in his decision making. That one he had to look up, saw there was a lazy defender, and bang, he was gone.
Yeah,
next phase, they've gone the left. They had numbers. Good work with the forwards to sort of run a couple of decoys, and then once they got in the hands of Eric Vasakikau, there was no stopping him. He was too big, he was too strong. Daniel Marshall came across, but in vain. Great try for the Hawks.
Yeah, bodies in motion got that try. As Ferry just cut them up there. As we look at the replay right now, we see Ferry at the back. Long ball out there. And Rada there just holds up the play. Little goose step, and that's a brilliant short ball there to Harris. And Harris, a little bit of an untimed pass, but Vasakikakaku cleans it up and gets the first try of the match.
Yep, impressed me. They've proved me wrong so far, Hamilton. I queried their number 9 and their number 10 coming into this game, but both of them have made excellent starts, and we'll gain a lot of confidence from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that fullback and 10 spot these days, I mean, there's not much between it. And I think Fallen will add an extra dynamic here in this game. And they look the best I've seen them this year, the Hamilton Hawks.
Yeah, they look pretty slick, don't they? Again, still got a long way to go, still 50 minutes to go.
As the Beaches come back now. For the restart. They get set, both teams. And that's another good kick there by Butler. Comes down and batted back there by the Beaches side. And Big Willie So has the ball. He's holding a few up, standing in the tackle. Just outside the 40-metre line. The ball's in the back there as the Hamilton players come through, and Butler knocks the ball out of his hand as the Hamilton players get the ball there through Marta, and that's a few knock-ons there, I believe, but it's going to be a Hamilton Hawks feed. And this game is suddenly opening up for the Hamilton Hawks here. Ball was batted back by the Beaches, though, in a pretty good restart. As Ferry talking to his troops. Maybe a little blindside move here by the Hawks.
Yeah, I need to console that now. Hamilton, I think a couple of times we've watched them when they've had great starts, they've tended to try and score off every phase, play a bit of touch footy. This is semi-final football. I wouldn't expect them to do that here. I expect them to maybe even look for more touch, look for a little bit more field position here.
But again, they back to Rado. Little inside ball to Harris, and Harris wasn't ready for it. Now Beaches with the ball. Ball on the ground, and Maxwell cleans it up, but that is a knock-on there, and Rob Delbell has called the knock-on, as he should have.
Yeah, just testing their arm there. I think the better option would have been to play field position, pick down the corner and keep grinding the pressure on Southern Beaches. But they tested their arm. Inside ball, yeah, just timing was a little bit out. Puts it down. Another chance for Southern Beaches to get into Hamilton's half, virtually for the first time, I think.
Yeah, they have definitely soaked up the pressure down their own end, and it'll be good to see this Beaches backline in action. Delore barking orders out there, and Butler probably straightening up the attack. I think with Delore at inside centre, Butler really has added to Delore's game. As the ball at the back now. Passed by Delore to Butler to Delore again, and the winger coming round. That's a good little, and he's away. He's going to score. Is he? Yes. And that's a great try to Daniel Marshall with a lot of pace there shown, just cutting them up the middle.
What a way to hit back. Could have asked for a better reply. Yeah, Dan Marshall, he's been around for a long time, won a couple of premierships with the Waratah. This time last year, actually the grand final, he won the inaugural Cooks Hill Sprint, the fastest man in Newcastle Rugby, and he showed a clean pair of heels there. Once he got some space, lovely little ball from Michael Delore. Once he got through the line, he was away, and there was no stopping. Great try, great comeback. I told you this was going to be a cracking game, and it's living up to it so far.
Yeah, and again, bodies in motion. Got the points on the board, for the Beaches there, with a couple of dummy runners, and up the middle there.
Yeah, Marshall. He came from the blind wing, got outside Michael Delore, then just stepped off his left foot, and then he got between Matt Ferry and Joe Ackersdyke. He was just too quick. I think he's a personal trainer. He lives for rugby. He's the fittest man. He's got a body percentage fat of about 3%. He's an absolute professional. He's played a lot of second grade this year, but he's back in first grade, and he certainly proved his worth right there.
And he makes a meal of that and scores the conversion, and it's now 10-7. Hamilton leading Southern Beaches here at number 2 Sports Ground for the Premier 1 qualifying semi-final. As Harris with the kickoff restart, and he's landed that bang on the 10-metre line there. That's a good kick there. About 40 metres out, and the Beaches guys come over, and he's called a knock on there against the Hamilton side. That's very unlucky for Hamilton. That was a very, very good kick there by Ben Harris, who absolutely nailed it and got it right in the sweet spot. The Beaches will have the scrum here as both teams getting set. Rob Delbo really controlling this game pretty well. Kept his whistle in his pocket so far, which has been pretty good, and good free-flowing rugby as both packs are set now. Rob Delbo not happy with something. Players leaning in a little bit too quickly there as both packs get set.
Hamilton, given their lack of size, they'll be looking to close that gap as much as possible. Obviously get the bind in nice and solid early and ensure this is a nice tight wrestle, not letting Southern Beach's superior pack weight take its toll.
Yeah, definitely with the size advantage, but the Hamilton scrum holding up to it well. Butler with the ball now and dummies and takes it in himself. He's got no support with him as Maxwell comes over. They go back the blind side. Delore with it now. Big Willie So with the ball. Just shrugs off one, looks to pass it, but keeps it in hand. That's good play there by Big Willie So. Ball at the back. Delore now. Butler looking to spread it wide, and he does. A good little dummy there. And now to the other Delore on the other wing, and he's got a bit of toe as well, and gets outside his man and get taken down about 25 out. As the Hamilton players come through, and that's going to be a penalty.
Just a bit unlucky there, I thought. Hamilton just too slow in getting their Beaches. I thought the ball was out. He'd come around the corner, the Hamilton player, but Rob Delbo said, no, you've got to come through the gate. Another penalty, another chance for Southern Beaches to put this deep in the corner and maul over, or at least certainly be in a cracking position to get some more points.
Yeah, well, Pete Maxwell's been all over the ball all day, I've noticed, and he was the one that got pinged there for the penalty, but, I mean, he was very unlucky because I thought the ball, as you said, was out. As we go to about 10 metres out here, with the Southern Beaches side to have the throw in, and I am guessing a maul's going to eventuate here, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'd say the ball will go to Glenn Stone. He's their tall timber, but Hamilton are very strong at this. This is one of the best parts of their game. Defensively against the line outside, they'll look to bring this to ground pretty quick.
As they go up, and you picked it, Jimmy, they do go to Stone, and they get the ball at the back, and they have formed the maul as they drive the ball slowly. Plenty of time here. The Beaches side as they keep going slow, but Hamilton is defending really well, and Beaches take it out of the ball.
Bartel Lever just slipped. He saw a bit of daylight. Big Willie Fraser's got his hands on the ball now. He trucks it up 1-2 metres.
Oh,
not far off.
Willie Fraser.
There. All he's got to do is get to ground.
And he has. He scored that. Big Willie Fraser. That's a good front rower's try there as he takes a couple with him.
He's so hard to stop those guys 5 metres out. I mean, the leg drive there was incredible. Most guys would have took the option to go to ground and set it up, but he just kept those big thighs pumping, and they pumped, and he had the ball up high, and he managed to roll to ground and plant the ball on the try line. Great comeback. 2 tries in 5 minutes for Southern Beaches. This is game on.
Yeah, the Beaches side really picked up their game now and on the attack as Butler shapes the kick. As we go now to the replay.
Yeah, Bartel Lever just slept. He stands up pretty high here. I thought they were going to handle him. Farber just slipped off the ball. He just kept going, and the white line was there. He saw it, and he planted it. Great try.
And he's looking around to see where the referee is. Big Willie Fraser saying, yep, I have got a meat pie. And probably doesn't get too many of them, but by the looks of it, probably eats a few.
Yeah, Ben, as we said, we said they'll be important in the prelude, didn't we? Said both front rows for Southern Beaches would certainly set the tone early, and they have.
Yes, as Butler now shaping the kick. Ball in an upright position as the Hamilton guys come out, and he strikes it, and he has got it. Yes. Beaches now 14, Hamilton 10. As the Hamilton side come back now for the restart. Looking pretty urgent now, probably wanting to get some points on the board next to score.
Yeah, they were in control, weren't they? In that opening 10 minutes, and then they just tested their arm once, turned the ball over, and bang, bang, 2 tries to Southern Beaches.
And the restart there, Willie Fraser just juggles the ball, but the Beaches get it back anyway. Big far to leave it, taking the ball up, looks to support, and he's manhandled there by...
You don't see him ragdoll very often, but that was Big Eric. He got him to the ground quickly. They spread
and
it
the ball spread wide. Nice little pass there to Lamb. Lamb making a break. He's got plenty of toe. Lamb got support on the inside. Nice little chip in field back to Delore. And Delore gets the ball. He's got support. And he passes to his brother, the other Delore.
Andrew Delore. 5 minutes out. They've got numbers on the left here, numbers on the right. All they have to do is
he takes it himself. That's a mistake, probably. They're calling for the ball, and they've turned it over to Hamilton. But that's a penalty called by Rob Delbo.
Yeah, this could be a player in the bin here.
Reaching for his card. Yes, he has. He has sent one of the Hamilton players to the bin.
Professional foul. Yeah, no other choice. Slowing play down. Not sure who it is, but yeah.
No one wants to move.
Matt Ferry's gone off the back. Oh, interesting to see. Obviously,
Oh.
Gareth Tilse will go to halfback here, you'd think, for the Hawks, but they're really under the pump at the moment.
Yeah, good, fast, enterprising play there by the Beaches, and they're going to go for the scrum.
Yeah, I like this call a lot. Just give 3 points. They're taking the scrum. They've got a man advantage in the scrum. I think they'll look for a big shove here, at least get Hamilton on there. If they don't get a push-over try, they'll certainly have Hamilton on their heels, which has a defensive line you don't want 5 metres from your own line.
Yeah, definitely. And Hamilton haven't been struggling in the scrum so far. They've really held their own, but as you said, a man down, this could get pretty tricky for them. As Delore with the ball now. Oh, he gives the opposite number of Tills a bit of a push there. As they come forward here, the Beaches side, the Hamilton side have pretty much collapsed. As he goes to blind now, he's got a bit of space there. Delore, and Delore cuts through there and scores a nice halfback's try.
Absolutely. Gareth Tills having a word with Rob Delbo. I think he might have queried that he got in the road, the referee there, but Marty Delore shows his experience. Everyone thought it was going to the right or Bartel Lever picking up off the back. He had a bow peep, saw there was nothing on the short side, backed himself, slid straight through. This is all Southern Beaches now this last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they've absolutely come alive since that first try they scored, and scored 3 tries now in the space of about 12 minutes, I think. As we go to the replay for Bar TV.
Yeah, Bartel Lever, see, he's got this ball positioned nicely at the back, just edging it forward. The Hamilton scrum's gone down. They probably could have got a penalty there. They have a look. Tills told to get back, and then he's just too slow. Marty Delore had that explosive step, 1-2. He was away. There was no catching him. Great little try.
Yeah, pretty poor blindside defence, though, there, I must say, by the Hamilton side.
Yeah.
The number 8 really didn't come across, but they don't have one.
No, exactly. You see there, Rob Durbo was telling Tills, I think, to stay back, stay back.
He did cop a pretty big push there just before by the experienced Delore, so I'm guessing that maybe he was saying something about that as well, because he was pushed right out of the way, but he was getting in Delore's face. So
yeah, they're a great story, the Delore family. Their dad virtually started the club as the juniors. They came through juniors, the 3 brothers. Marty's actually the second youngest. They got another boy, Adrian Delore, who's Australian schoolboy last year, who's now down playing with Norse. He's in the New South Wales under-20 academy. So good breeders, good rugby breeders, the Delores. And of course, the family's got ties to the Hamilton club as well. So big day for the family here.
Yeah, that's right. And they Butler misses the kick there. It's still 19-10 Southern Beaches, and Harris kicks the ball high and a little bit deeper this time. And the Beaches side comes up with a good take there by the second rower. Ball spread out now. Vart's lever with a big run there by Var. Holds up a couple, as he always does. As the Hamilton side come over, and Delore just takes the ball, and ball just raked out of his hands there by Big Marta. The big Fijian. Gee, he's a big boy, Marta.
Yeah, 119 kilo, 6'4", so and he's all power. He's got real big through the core.
Be interesting to see how this scrum goes here. Again, with the man down, the Beaches side will probably want to put a bit of pressure on it, on about the 20-metre line. They'll probably want to win this ball back. The Beaches, I guess.
Yeah, well, Hamilton Fee, they're set out to the right here. Interesting that the 2 pockets, the left wingers come in behind.
Oh, Gareth Tilson taken there nicely by the Beaches breakaway and not letting the ball go. And Rob Delbo has seen it, and he has called the penalty. And Hamilton in all sorts of trouble there off the back of that scrum with a man down.
Yeah, good pressure there from Southern Beaches. They just wheel it to the left, put some pressure on the back, and Gareth Tilson just got caught there. Yep.
Butler now looking to kick to his sideline. The sideline closest to the bottom of your TVs. As he takes his time and lines it up and doesn't make much ground, but makes sure of it this time.
We've got to remember they're running into a pretty stiff wind here too, Southern Beaches, so that just shows how well they're playing. They haven't really kicked it much. They've obviously said, there's no point kicking it into that wind. Let's play ball in hand, and so far it's worked well for them.
Yes, and Hayden Gavin sets. Throws the ball and, it made a mess of it at that line out, and that is a knock on there by the Beaches of the line out. Bit of a let off there.
Yeah, the lifting wasn't quite right there. The timing was just out. Allowed the Hamilton man to get his hand up at the front. Bit sloppy. Let off there for Hamilton. Another chance for them to at least put some pressure on in terms of field position.
Yeah, don't know if the throw was all that straight either, Jimmy, and that might be where the Beaches sort of come undone in the set piece here.
Yeah, I mean, their hooker, Hayden Gavin, is played the majority of his career in the back row. He sort of made the transition to hooker this year and he's done a real good job. I mean, he plays like a back row, but packs in the scrum and throws lineouts, and he's certainly the right build for it, and he's made a fist of it so far.
And this Beaches side coming through. Delore calls for offside, but I don't think he was, and that's a poor pass there by falling out the back, and Harris cleans up and takes the ball to about 45 metres from the try line, and Gareth Tilse takes it from the back there. No options, really. They're going to have to ruck here, and they do.
Yeah, Beach has got a couple of big forwards out in the back line here, so it might be an opportunity for Hamilton to spread it wide.
And they go the other way there by the young player, Silla, and he has a good charging run up the middle there. That's a long ball out there for Fallen. Fallen straightens up and takes a little jink in there, makes a little half break, and that's a good run there by Fallen. Rada calling for it. Rada with the ball now. Little goose step again, and he comes back inside, back to his forwards, and nearly taken in there by Will So, who looks to clean him up, but Rada just misses the big hit. Oh, that's a flat pass there to Lamont, and he juggles it, takes it, and gets through the other side of the line. As Tilse takes it from the back, they calls for offside. They could be offside. I don't think they are, and that's a poor pass from the back there to Harris, and Harris dances back in field, back to his forwards. Nice play, setting it up there.
Yeah, 9-10 phases here for Beaches. They're setting something up on the right.
Good hit
Hamilton
there.
just rushed up off the line. Might have been offside, but still the numbers are on the right here.
Fallen with the ball. He will take it himself. He does. And flick passes out the back there. And now the Beaches side around the back, but Delbo has called it back for a penalty, playing advantage. Everything happening here at number 2 Sports Hound. It's a great game here, Jimmy.
Yeah, Liam Fallen looks so much better when he runs the ball, doesn't he? I think he's better off tucking under his wing and letting someone else come in for that second and third phase at playmaker. The couple of times he's tested his arm with some loose passes or some floated passes, they haven't come off, but when he's run the ball, they get him on the front foot and the Hawks look really dangerous.
Yeah, definitely that second phase play is what's got Hamilton to the point where they are. VAR just having a chat with the referee there. Not happy with something as Harris grabs the ball and he'll look to kick the ball. But geez, both teams, both players, all players looking to spread the ball wide and chance their arm here. It's pretty good footy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's surprising when you consider the way these teams traditionally have played. But as we mentioned in the prelude, they've both added some quality backs to their personnel this year, and they're using them.
And Harris nails that kick. Flags go up again, and it's now Southern Beaches 19, Hamilton 13. Both sides still look like they've got plenty in them. Coming towards half-time here, we're about 14 minutes away. This has been an action-packed half. As Butler now with the ball, talking to his players, just directing them where it's going to go. Probably the same spot, I'd say, but he's been on the money all game with his restarts. Yeah,
Glenn Stone and Iopa have come through and we've put a lot of pressure on this restart.
Oh, and that's another nice high towering kick. And, comes back, bounces back to the Beaches, and Beaches have the ball. Bakarich with a good hit there on his opposite hooker there, Hayden Gavin.
Yeah, spotted the knock on there. Great work there from Glenn Stone. Came through. I won't necessarily think he challenged for it. He just put an arm up there, and that was enough to put the Hamilton defender off. It whacked him on the arm. Knock on, another chance for Beaches to drive it deep into the Hawks' half.
Yeah, playing really straight and bodies going everywhere in this back line, putting the Hamilton defence off. And as we said, it is a new back line, so probably haven't got that cohesion in reading defence, I think, and taking a little while to adjust to this Beaches attack.
Of course, there's still a man down here, so crucial next 3 or 4 minutes from him. If they can get out of this 7-3 scoreline with the man down, they'd be happy, but they really needed to aim up in defence here.
Delore with the ball now, holds it up, back to the Butler. Butler with a break, he's got one to beat, got Lamb on the outside, and Lamb's going to get over for an easy try, as easy as they come, untouched, and exploiting that one-man advantage there, Jimmy.
Oh, beautiful little ball from Michael Delore. He just ran at the line and just came in, a little ball off his hip. Fantastic little pass. From there, it was just too many numbers. The overlap was on, and Lamb was only in second gear when he crossed the line there. He virtually had the handbrake on.
The score now 24-13 to Southern Beaches, and they've just got the ball every time they've got the ball in attack. They've held the ball and they've scored a try. As we go to the replay now.
Yeah, Michael Delore, he just takes it to the line. He had Mitch Ostel on his outside.
Good little wraparound play. You don't see that enough these days.
Yeah, to Butler. Butler in space. He then finds Lamb. 2-on-1. No questions asked. Easy try.
Cocky even, one would say. I don't know how the big Willies would respond to that.
I'm staying away from that, mate. I'm staying well away from that. Nearly 30 minutes gone, of course, on the Herald scoreboard. Crucial period now. They can't afford to let another one in here, Hamilton, before half-time.
And Butler lines the kick up. The ball on a bit of a lead. He's got a funny style. As you said, he's from a Gaelic football background, but he looks to kick, and he has the curve right, and he has nailed it. That's a good kick there by Butler, and score now 26 Beaches, Hamilton 13. There's about 10 minutes still to go in this first half. There's been points galore as Ferry now rejoins the attack. With Ben Harris to restart. Probably looking to kick it about 10 metres as he has done all game. No, he kicks this one long, getting the ball downfield. Ball passed off to Taliva. VAR taking the ball forward now and bumps one off. That's a good run, getting them to about the 20-metre line, setting the play up well.
Yeah, Ferry back on now for Hamilton, so it's 15v15 again.
Oh, Butler dummies, takes a good hit there, good strong hit in contact, and Big Willie So with the ball, takes the ball, passes it out. Winger on the outside, unmarked. Marshall, little kick forward there by Marshall. Easily taken by the Matt Ferry from Hamilton. Little bit of nudge on the back, but no worries as Harris takes the ball through and Marshall wraps him up nicely. Ball at the back, Tills now passes the ball out, and by the looks of things, Brett Sutherland has come on. The old wily veteran for Hamilton, he loses the ball.
Yeah, looks like must be an issue with Liam Fawn. I didn't see him get injured, to be honest with you, but yeah, Brett Sutherland plays 200th grade game for the Hawks last year. Played lots and lots of second grade. Very experienced campaigner, probably a dozen games in first grade. But yeah, he'll just direct them around. He'll catch and pass and try and put guys in some holes. Interesting to have to get a check on what's actually up with Liam Fawn, but if he's gone for the game, it's a massive loss. Yeah,
it is a massive loss, and Sutherland probably hasn't got the pace that Fallen has, but as you said, will direct them round pretty well, the old stalwart, as Delore feeds the ball in for Beaches, and these scrum has come back to even now as Butler has the ball, cuts Delore out as they take a play around, but the outside centre takes it in nicely there. As Delore comes from the back, and that's a good little pass there to his brother, and taking one in, and Rada wraps him up nicely. That's
He's
a
been
good
very
tackle.
impressive, Michael Delore, hasn't he? He's really got him going straight.
As the Beaches now take the ball forward, and he's been lifted there, but that's okay. Ball at the back. Butler with it, brings in Willie Fraser, and Willie Fraser takes about 4 or 5 players to wrap him up and get him down. Ball at the back, good presentation there by Fraser. The Beaches side now taking it forward and dominating this Hamilton side, really in defence. And that's a penalty there to the Beaches, and players taking high there, I believe. That's a high shot. A little bit unlucky.
They're just hanging on here, Hamilton. This is all Beaches, all one-way traffic. Another try here into the wind could be the death knell for them.
Yeah, Vartaliva just getting a little high shot there, and that's a little bit unlucky as he was probably falling for that tackle. But they have chosen to take the points, which is a little bit questionable as they've got the pressure on. Probably a more might have got them.
Yeah, interesting option, I guess. I guess doing taking a deep breath more than anything. It's been a pretty frenetic pace. They're obviously the bigger of the two packs. Maybe the packs just said, mate, we need to take a breath here. Let's take the points, take the kickoff, and let's get back down there. I mean, not a 16-point margin at half-time, certainly nothing to be sneezed at.
Yeah, definitely, especially in a semi-final. And we are here today live on the Newcastle Herald website and, of course, Bar TV, the home of grassroots sports. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in all around the world and, of course, in Newcastle. Maybe a couple of you caravanning up at Bluey's or coming back on a helicopter ride from the races, as I believe a couple of the Merewether Carlton guys are.
Mate, they live the life, those Carlton boys. And, of course, the Merewether Carlton versus the Waratahs here again tomorrow. We'll be live, of course, for the Herald and Bar TV in the elimination semi-final where, of course, that's a knockout one. No prizes for the team that runs second there. They're out and they can plan their end-of-season trip. But he's just put that kick to the right. So, yeah, an opportunity lost there for Beaches. But, again, they'll get the ball here in a pretty good position.
Yeah, that's the second kick he's missed today, Butler, and he's been pretty sharp. He's had a few appointments there with the kicking tee as the Hamilton players playing mind games now and kicking it out wide to Harris, and Harris gets a long, hulking kick downfield, and that's massive, and that's going to go nearly the distance of the field as the Beaches players just let it trickle over into the in-goal line and just a bit take it out to the 20-metre. Is it? Yes, they have, and look to take a quick restart there through Tyler Austell, who again has looked pretty impressive too in this Beaches back line.
Yeah, he's been mainly used as a decoy so far, haven't they? They've had a couple of sweeping plays and behind-the-back plays, but I think you'll find him come into it in the second half, particularly once they get this wind at their back. They'll use their backs even more.
Yeah, that was a massive kick there by Harris, and Beaches players getting set for the restart. And that's a big high kick there as it comes down, and it's scrappy, but the Hamilton players have come up with it. Good grab there by Hamilton.
Yeah, real chance here for the Hawks.
At the back, Ferry now to Tills. Tills takes it forward. Good run, but he's met by his opposite in Vartaliva. just getting cleaned out there, the Hamilton guys, and they're scrapping around, and Ferry takes it now. Is that Vasaki Kaku? Is it Ratu? And he loses the ball, and Lamb with the ball now. He's exciting when he's got the ball, Lamb, and he's bent backwards there in the tackle.
You've got numbers on the left, on the right here, the Southern Beaches, and a penalty advantage too. They'll test their arm here.
And Rob Delbo calls it back, and no advantage. The Hamilton guys diving over that ruck.
Yeah, playing pretty much the script here, Southern Beaches, aren't they? They're doing everything right so far.
As Butler now shaping to kick towards the far touchline.
5 metres from half, 13-point lead. A lot to like about the Beaches. And of course, for all your rugby news, go to www.theherald.com.au or do a good thing. Go and buy a newspaper. Get the Newcastle Herald, particularly on a Monday, a Thursday and a Saturday for all your rugby news. Plenty of action, 2 semi-finals, plenty of rugby league as well. All sports covered by the Newcastle Herald.
Yeah, I love the smell of a Monday morning newspaper, Jimmy, especially the Newcastle Herald. I'm loving following this brown paper bag stuff, that's for sure. As the ball now getting thrown in. Drop there by the Hamilton side. That'll be a knock-on.
Yeah, they just can't. They're slightly off their game, the Hawks. I think the way the Beaches have played have knocked them out of the game and knocked them out of their rhythm. They're just making little mistakes now that they weren't making that open 10 minutes, and they don't make as a rule. They've just been knocked. They're knocked out of their funk. They've been really disrupted, and at the moment I can't see them coming back. They really need to get to half-time, have a good chat, come out, change the way they're doing things, up the tempo, particularly in tight, I think, and really get a foothold in this game.
Yeah, definitely lost a bit of an attacking option there with Fallen off as well, and Sutherland probably not going to make too many breaks.
It just changes the way they play, because all week they would have trained with Fallen there. He's very direct, he runs the ball, whereas Brett Sutherland's more your traditional catch and pass player, play the corners. So, yeah, they had to change the way they play, and what they need to do here is defend.
Little dummy inside by Butler, and Butler's got a man on the outside. He gets him, but he's floated too wide, but he's got pace here, Marshall. Marshall tiptoes with the line. Good little kick inside there. And Ferry jumps the ball. Andy Delore misses it. Oh, Austell misses it. Everyone misses it. And that's going to be a knock-on there by Beaches, but everyone in the crowd with hearts in their mouth.
All he needed was a good bounce there, Tyler Austell, but it went straight into his shin, so unfortunately didn't bounce up for him. That would have really been a killer. But great little piece of enterprise. Daniel Marshall, again, showing his pace and his experience. Tiptoed down that right touchline, chipped infield. All it needed was a good bounce. It didn't come, and Hamilton hang on.
Yeah, definitely exciting. This Southern Beaches backline, that's for sure. And Marshall just treading miraculously on that sideline there, keeping in, and it was a good option to kick the ball inside, and nearly came off for them. As Hamilton now with the scrum feed.
Big scrum this for the Hawks. They really need to stay strong.
Well, good scrum there by Beaches.
Yeah.
And that'll be a penalty, though.
Yeah, no doubts about that. They just wheeled that straight away. Not real smart option there. They had the pressure. They had the Hamilton scrum under the pump, and they just twisted it too much to the left. Rob Delbo was awake to it, and a relieving penalty for the Hawks.
And Ferry gets the ball and gets it up towards the halfway line, probably on about the 40-metre line, I'd imagine. He's had a pretty good game today, Rob Delbo, I must admit. Game's been nice and free-flowing. And that's a quick line out there, catching the Beaches side of guys. Ferry out now. And Big Marta. And, Vasaki Kaku doesn't get it. And Harris cleans the ball up. He's dangerous. Harrison takes the ball up to about the halfway line. And the Hamilton guys now just setting the play on halfway.
You can throw a blanket over the Hawks. They're in one big bunch here. They're not going anywhere, but nice and tight.
Yeah, it's like watching an under-5s game, Jimmy.
Oh,
and that's a knock-on. Hamilton won't be happy with that, and Coleman will be absolutely blowing up at half-time, I'd imagine.
As we said, they need to get him in there, have a good hard talk, a good rethink of things, find their A game, because at the moment they're about B or C.
Yeah, we've got about 3 minutes to go here for Bar TV. As the scrum's now about to get set. Beaches might have another try in him, I feel.
Yeah, Beaches' head's just down. The Hawks, of course, head's just down here in the backs. They've all got their hands on their hips, heads down, wondering where it's all gone wrong. For mine, Ben Harris has been the shining light for the Hawks. He's looked dangerous every time he's got the ball. But, yeah, they just need to get a bit more organisation and a bit more, get everyone on the same page.
Scrum set now. Ball at the back, Delore. VAR takes it off the back, makes an extra man with Delore. Butler with it, dummies. Gets around one, he's got support on the inside now. Lamb with the ball, takes it in. He's got no one there with him. Beaches are going to have to need to get there and clean out, but he gets a few more metres there, Lamb.
Bit lucky to get away with that,
calling. And that's a good clean out there by the Hamilton winger. And VAR takes the ball forward and again bumps one off. The first tackle there, Bacharach. Delore at the back. Austell with a big long ball out to Willie Fraser. Willie Fraser with his winger, and he gets it to Delore. Delore with a couple to beat, and he might get pulled down, and he stays in. He does well to stay in there, Delore.
Yeah, showed his experience there, Andy Delore. Stayed in. Now they set it up. They've got numbers on the right here, the Beaches, but they're slow and getting there.
Oh, Hamilton just coming over. That's very unlucky. Counter-rucking there.
Yeah, didn't roll away.
And that'll be a penalty to Beaches.
I think they'll take the scrum here, surely.
Yeah, got to take the scrum probably with about a minute to go on the clock. Maybe even take the line out and get that maul happening as they did early in the first half.
Yeah, they've already scored 2 tries from a set piece, but they take the option of the line out. Of course, we know what's going to happen here. They'll be driving with Big Willie or Big Willie Fraser or Willie So at the back trying to burrow over.
Yeah, pretty predictable. Probably go to Stone again, I'd imagine. Maybe even Barr at the back, but it is windy and the wind's swirling around, so probably go for that shorter option.
Interesting to see whether Hamilton even contest this. They might just try and pull it down straight away.
As the boys set now. Oh, and gets it to Willie So at the front. And Willie So knocks it back, and big Willie Fraser gets driven back. Good defence there by the Hamilton guys.
Yeah, he just stood up tall there instead of staying low. They're keeping it nice and tight, though.
Oh, Taliva takes it forward, and they have got options out wide now. As Butler gets the ball, looks to pass it, and Delore comes on the inside, gets a little ball back to Butler. Oh, and juggles it, and that's a double knock on, I'd imagine. Yes, it is, and unlucky there for the Beaches side. Probably had all the attack to play for, and that's half-time now. And it's been a great half of rugby here in the qualifying semi-final for Bar TV. Jimmy Garner, what are your thoughts?
I'm thinking you, mate. You got me stumped there. I think Southern Beaches certainly deserve their lead. You've got to remember they've run into the wind as well. They've hardly kicked the ball in terms of territory. They've used the ball in hand. They've paid dividends for it. What's impressed me most is I think they've knocked Hamilton out of their rhythm. Hamilton sort of look a bit 6s and 7s. They don't, whether the passes are sort of going behind the man. They're not getting in support. They're sort of getting in each other's way. The loss of Liam Forlam, I think, has been big. When he was running the ball direct from number 10, they look strong. But Hamilton, they're a very experienced side. If any team can get themselves out of the hole they're in, it'll be Hamilton. But they've got a long way to go. Interesting to see whether Beaches change their way they play in the second half with this win. Do they go a bit conservative, or do they keep attacking? I, for one, hope they keep attacking.
Do you think the Hamilton side are going to go back to the old style of pick and drive, Jimmy?
I think they have to get in the game to start with, and that's the best way for them to get in the game. At the moment, they're spectators more than anything. They're really not haven't got a foothold in the game. They need to find something. If that means going through the forward for the first 10 minutes to try and wear this big Beaches pack down, which you think would tire as the second half wears on, that's what they've got to do. As you said, with Brett Sutherland there at 10, he's a catch and pass 5'8", as opposed to a take the line on 5'8". So that, again, will change the way they play. You might find Ben Harris comes up to 10 a little bit, and Sutherland might go back to fullback. But they've got a lot of work to do, and they've got to do it pretty quick. They've certainly got to be the first team to score in next half. If they don't, it's good night.
Yeah, no worries. And a bit of conjecture this week in the NHRU, Jimmy, with this point system coming in, which you wrote about this morning.
Yeah, a new point system for next year. Came from a bit of left field. There has been a little bit of talk about it, but now the board, in their infinite wisdom, have put it through. And next year, it's hard to explain in a 2-minute segment, but basically, players that have played with you for more than 3 years will attribute nil points. If players come to you, they're worth more. You've basically got 28 points, a cap at 28 points, which really means they're trying to probably stop clubs from bringing players in from overseas to produce their own. Clubs that do bring players in are sort of penalised. They're the ones that earn more points than others. For my own personal opinion, I'm not sure we need it at this point. Sure, we've had a few overseas imports come in, but there is so many juniors that have come through that are really making their mark in first grade. And I think this rule will probably impact on the clubs out of the top 5 more so than the others. In recent years, Nelson Bay, Lake Macquarie, obviously the Waratahs who are up near the top, they have had to bring in a lot of players just so they're competitive because they don't have those big junior nurseries to dip into at this point.
I mean, you look at a side like Lake Macquarie, Jimmy, and those guys, they're going to need probably about 30 new players to get like a premier, 1 and 2 grades in next year. It's going to definitely impact on a side like them.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get around to many of the clubs yet, but yeah, certainly they're juniors at under 15s, I think, at the moment. So there's still a couple of years of coming into Colts. I know they've had trouble with Colts this year in terms of getting numbers. They've forfeited 2 or 3 games. So I guess some clubs are going to have to really think about the way they develop their club. I think that's the aim of it. I'm not sure whether bringing it in now is a good move. Maybe a 12-month or 24-month sort of probation period might have been a better way to go. But at least the board have made a decision and they're sticking by it. So now the clubs have got to reevaluate the way they do things. But I do think teams like your Wanderers and your Merida and your Hamiltons and Southern Beaches, teams that already have that junior system in place, are only going to get stronger.
Yeah, Maitland's another team as well that you probably see a bit of an evening of the competition in that regards. But I mean, I'm a big believer that let's attract the best of players to the competition. Let's. I mean, we're never going to be Sydney competition, but let's have us as a feeder competition.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the Waratahs, for instance, they got two players, Alan Miralakalis and Kelly Miafo, who have both played for Belgium in the last 12 months and Samoa in the last 12 months. They're worth 24 points between them. So that's 24 out of your 28. Doesn't leave much room. So, and I think having those players here lift the competition. And if you lift the competition, well, then the standard of the players around you has to improve. So, it's a difficult one. I can see reasons for it. But again, I think all these sorts of things, there was talk of it going back to an 8-team Premier Rugby competition. These things need to be brought up and then 12 months down the track brought in. I think rushing them through is not the way to go. I know there have been a bit of research done into this one, but I'm not convinced it's the right way to go.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Obviously going to cause a lot of conjecture. There's a couple of other things too. I guess a couple of the players that were registered for a couple of teams coming in the semis didn't actually get through. Do you want to talk about that one, Jimmy? Talk us through that.
Unique situation where this year the Sydney competition has been moved forward a month. So, 3 players in particular, Arthur Brown from Waratah and 2 from Hamilton, Nick Palmer and Tweedy Assey, played in Sydney this year and then came back at the end of that and played the final 3 games in Newcastle. The club has appealed to have them regraded for the finals. In the past, those regrades have been successful. There has been precedence, but again, the board put a line in the sand and said, no, you've played the season in Sydney, you've completed the season down there, we don't want you coming back and finishing the season up. And for mine, I think that's the right way to go. But whether or not you have to take into account precedence, I guess, is the area, the grey area. Maybe, again, they could have closed that loophole at the end of the year and changed it. But they've stuck by their guns and they said, no, we can't have this. It interrupts the integrity of our competition, and they haven't allowed them to play. And I can see why they've done that. Yeah,
I mean, certainly in the past, players have come back. But I guess new year, new competition, new rules. But this game in itself has been an absolute cracker so far. The scores here today are Southern Beaches 26, Hamilton 13. And it's been an absolutely free-flowing game of rugby in the Premier 1 qualifying semi-final for the greater NHRU. And, of course, we are live to you today on Bar TV. So if you are watching inside a bar or you are watching inside your own home, keep watching. Feel free to comment. Send us a tweet, because we're having an absolute ball here today at number 2 Sports Ground. As the Hamilton side now kicking off, running towards Merriweather. That'll be left to right on your screen at home. As Rob Delbo blows time on, and it is a kickoff, and that's a good long kickoff there by Ben Harris as they pass a dodgy ball inside, and Hamilton might come up with it, but Varb dives over the ball, and Hamilton are diving over, counter-rucking, but it looks like Beaches have won this ball here with Delore at the back. Gets it to Butler, and Butler clears the ball and uses that wind nicely, and that's a big, big kick there, and the Hamilton players let it bounce, and Harris picks it up now inside his own 20 as he steps, tries to beat the man, and he's dancing with the sideline there and stays in field. Good play there by Harris as the Hamilton side now rucking the ball forward. Need to keep ball in hand, the Hamilton Hawks this half, and that's a knock on there as I accidentally jinxed them. Yeah, and that'll be the first scrum of the second half, Jimmy.
Just had a notice at half-time here, Liam Fulham talking to one of the Hamilton trainers. It looked like he was feeling his hamstring, so I'd be very surprised if he's back. Not good news for the Hawks.
Yeah, not good news for the Hawks, not good news for their semi-final campaign.
Yeah, of course, the teams from today, the loser today gets a second chance. They'll play next week in the minor semi-final. They'll play the winner of tomorrow's elimination semi-final between the Waratahs and Merriweather Carlton. Of course, minor premiers, Wanderers, had the week off today, and they'll be playing the winner of this game next week in the major semi, which looks at this point to be Beaches, but we've got 38 minutes to go. But
good scrum there by Hamilton. That's a little knock on there at the back there by the Beaches side. Good pressure by the Hamilton Hawks, who towards that end of that first half, they were getting pushed around there by these Beaches pack, and they've come out obviously with a new mindset and absolutely dominated that first scrum. As the two teams look to get set again.
It's where it's got to start for Hamilton. It's got to start up front. They've really got to lift up the intensity, lift the pace of the game up a bit, try and put a bit of pressure on, and try and wear down this Beaches pack. We've said that they're certainly, man for man, they're a lot bigger than them. They certainly don't have the fitness levels of the Hawks, and that's where they've got to wear them down, soak up some of that. But a good scrum there from Beaches.
And Rada with the ball now. Gets on the outside of his man. Vasakikakaku makes a break. He's got one to beat. He's got Ben Harris on the outside. Ben Harris is going to dummy to his winger. Had his winger unmarked. That's
great defence there from Glenn Stone. The blindside breakaway made good ground to get across. They're pouring in here, the Hawks.
And that'll be a penalty to the Hawks with the Beaches player coming over illegally there. And they take the quick tap through Ferry, and Ferry dances through the middle there. He's had a good game so far, Ferry. He's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, he has. As we said, we wanted to see him be decisive. He has again.
And Rob Delbo's marched them 10.
No doubts that the message was to play up tempo from the Hawks coaching staff, and so far so good for the Hawks.
A little bit of back chat there by the Beaches, and they've marched them 10 metres.
Sutherland will just knock this into the corner. This will be a great opportunity for him to hit back straight away.
Yeah, look for probably... Oh, that's a good kick there by Sutherland, just on the 5 metre line, 5 metres out. As Lamont with the ball. Probably go for an attacking maul here, I'd say, Jimmy. And at the back there, and looks to come through the middle and held up there. Ackersdyke.
Bartel must have been an old move that he read that like he was still part of the Hawks side, but
chance here to coming. And they're about a metre out there, a metre out by the Hamilton Hawks, and looking to ruck it slowly.
Yeah, Lamont at first receiver.
Ball at the back there, Ferry calling for it. Oh, they take it back in there through
Big Marta.
Oh, long ball to Sutherland. Sutherland now out to Rata. Rata to Vasakikakaku, and that's a good flat ball there to...
Economou just straightens it up on the outside. They've got to get the ball back here. In numbers there, Beaches, but no, Hamilton have got it. Ferry a little late to get there. Ball a bit disrupted, counter-rucking from Beaches. Hamilton need to clean out here. They need some good, clean, recycled ball.
Yes. The Hamilton side slow to get that ball going. They want to play up tempo as they go to the blind side. Taking about 2 metres out there. Ferry scurrying around, and that's a penalty to Southern Beaches. Yeah, holding on to the ball there, the Hamilton Hawks.
No, just too slow to get there in numbers. I don't think the Hawks thought they were going the short side. Just too slow. Great work by Southern Beaches.
Yeah, Southern Beaches getting there in numbers and forcing the penalty, and Hamilton had no other option really there to hold on the ball with the players not coming around to help him out. And Rob Delbo still talking to the Hamilton side. Yeah, Butler looks to kick.
Taking a couple of big deep breaths here, the Beaches boys. Pretty smart play there by Butler, just checking where that mark was. Gives his opportunity for his forwards just to take a couple of deep breaths, get composed, and get ready for another line out. 10 seconds here, concentrate, get the ball into Stone, and away we go again.
Very impressive defence, though, by the Beaches, I must say. They were under all sorts of trouble there from the Hamilton side and really holding them out well.
Short line out here, got a couple of big forwards out in the backs. Beaches, Bartel over, looks like the target.
Yeah, Big Willie So's out there lingering around as well as they hold it up in a maul situation. Bring the maul forward. Ball the back down to Law. Butler with a little kick over the top using that wind. That's a good kick into the corner. Forcing the wind to turn around and passes back on the inside to Harris as Harris gets the ball back out to Domenico, and little scything run up the middle there. And they go, Lamont absolutely cracked there by Big Willie So. That's a good hit there. He's going to feel that in the morning.
Yeah, monster there. Great shot by Willie So.
And he's another one there for his opposite number back rack. He's all over the place, Willie So. Good defence. And Sutherland, that's got to be forward pass there by Sutherland. Yeah. And it is a forward pass. It was about 2 metres forward.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessarily Sutherland's fault. The winger was just too flat there. He was up in his pocket. Had no option but to throw it. Again, bit of timing. That's what happens when you... As we said, Sutherland hasn't played any first grade, very little first grade this year. You just got to change things when they bring fresh players on. And Economou there just too flat, basically. Need to get a bit deeper. Need the time his run a bit better. Another chance for Southern Beaches to assert some more pressure.
Yeah, definitely, Jimmy, is the Beaches' first attacking scrum really in this game. And as we saw in the first half, they scored from nearly every set piece they went in. And they've got a set move set with Lamb out wide, I believe. Probably looking to get the ball, and that's a messy scrum.
Yeah, So just got lifted there. He just sort of popped up out of the scrum. Baccarat's good work. I've seen penalties given for that, but needs to concentrate here. The big front rowers from Beaches, they pull a couple of big shots off, but it's the bread and butter stuff. The scrummaging, the cleaning out, the rucking and mauling that they really need them to keep their minds on the job. I think they'll be more alert for this scrum, and we might see a bit more solid ball.
He'd be sucking them up, Big Willie So, because he made about 3 tackles in a row then, and that's probably the highest tackle count he's had all year.
He gets through a bit of work, Big Willie. Don't doubt him, mate. He's a monster.
It's a messy scrum as the ball's at the back for Hamilton there, and it's a knock on at the back of the scrum. They did win it against the feed, and
Yeah,
a little knock on at the back there by Gareth Tills.
Yeah, Pete Backerich, good work. And he's getting nice and low, and he's disturbing Willie So on that tight end side.
Yes, excuse me for the mistake. I meant the most tackles he's done in the space of 5 minutes, Jimmy. My mistake. I love the big two willies. What about you?
They bring the crowds, mate. They bring the crowds.
Play nice and hard and straight through the ruck as the scrum gets set. Ball fed in, and Hamilton putting all pressure, but VAR takes it off the back, and that's a good run there and runs over Sutherland, making him look like nothing but a
Yeah, I think he just caught
doormat.
Pete Maxwell out there. Oh, knocked down there by the... They're getting a little bit scrappy this. I think both teams want to just get a bit of composure, get back into their game. It's just becoming a bit broken down and a bit ugly at present.
Yeah, things could erupt too. A little bit of nasty stuff going on in back play over the last couple of stoppages. I don't know what'll happen if it does erupt, because Rob Delbo is certainly going to go to his pocket, I'd imagine.
Yeah, good little run there from Bartel. He got on the outside of Pete Maxwell. Pete Maxwell's normally very alert, but he beat him for pace there. You don't see that happen too often. They're set here. Looks like a big short side here. Numbers on the right.
Yeah, Butler's out on the right there, so I'm guessing Vartaleva might pick off the back. No, he holds the ball in, and they go left to Delore, and Delore puts a little kick over the top to his brother, and his brother, Delore gets the ball. Andy Delore gets the ball, and that's a try.
They practiced that in the backyard, no doubt. That was magic. Everyone thought the ball was going to the right, but Michael Delore, he's such a classy and cool customer. Played a lot of 10. He just put the ball in behind. Andrew Delore muscled his way past the defender, then took his time to put the ball down. He didn't rush it. He didn't knock it on. He took his time, showed his experience. Cracking try.
Yeah, good try, and good opportunity there by Beaches, and not lost on them, and they've really treasured the ball when they've had it in this game, and scoring from nearly every sort of set of phase they've had the ball. It's been a pretty amazing and dominant display. I'm pretty surprised at the ease they've played this game with when they've had the ball in hand, and they've defended really well as well, as Butler comes back to take the kick.
We just look at this.
Let's
watch our replay now. He just shifts to his left.
As Butler lines the kick up. Couple of technical difficulties on this replay as we go now to the replay as the scrum gets set. And it's a very good scrum there and held nicely in by Vartaleva. And everyone thinking he's going to take the ball from the back, but they go the opposite way. Delore just nicely weighted kick for his brother Andy and just lets it bounce and beats his man on the outside. And that's a try as easy as they'll come.
A great combination. That's just Andrew Delore played a lot this season at outside centre, but he's really coming to his own once he's been put on the wing. He's got some explosive pace.
Gets the kick off the post. Sorry to interrupt you, Jimmy, but I love a kick off the post.
Worth it, yeah. Great player, Andrew Delore, great clubman. He was the inaugural captain of Southern Beaches when they come into Premier Rugby. First man to score a point for him as well. And he could be the first man to score a try on their way to their first semi-final win. Synergy.
That's right, and that's a bad kick there by Harris as Delore gets the ball, the man we're talking about. Good safe hands there as they take the ball up to about the halfway line and over the halfway line. Good run there as Austell gets the ball from the back, backing up his centre partner in Delore, and he's monstered there by the Hamilton pack. Ackersdyke taking him, hand around the head. Butler with a short little ball, and Rata goes for the intercept and just knocks it down, and that's an intentional knockdown called by Rob Delbo. And it kind of went for the intercept, but I don't know about that one. As the penalty about on the halfway line, centre of the field, and they're going to go for goal. It's a big kick, but they have got a strong breeze behind them.
It's certainly the most complete performance I've seen by Southern Beaches in the history of their club. They've been fantastic today. It's hardly, I think there's only been 1 or 2 errors they've made.
Well, they have been building for this for a couple of years, Jimmy, and I mean, they have been flying under the radar. I mean, they ended up coming third. I mean, and with not many points in between it, so maybe a little bit underestimated here by the Hamilton Hawk side.
Absolutely. I mean, they've won 6 in a row coming into this. If we go back in 2011, they finished third and got knocked out in straight sets to the semis. 2012, they finished second. It was the same deal. Last year, they missed the finals altogether on percentages. But this year, I mean, Tim Chidgey, you got to like the way he builds a club. He goes in. He's come into a club that was really only in its infancy. He knew he had a lot of work to do. He's built them up. First 2 years, he did magnificently well to get them to the finals. The next step for them was winning the final and getting to a grand final, and they're on their way so far.
And he made a mess of that kick there, Butler, Harris down here in back play. Something going on with the fullback as the referee Dalbo comes out to check if he's okay. Doesn't seem to be moving much. It seems to be a problem here with his leg, but he has had back problems in the past, Harris. Yeah, and this will be a massive blow if he's injured.
This will be horrible if it is. They're playing with his neck. He doesn't look too comfortable. Good to see Southern Beaches training staff out there as well, I think. No.
He shakes it off. Yes, looks like a bit of a neck problem. He shakes it off and runs back to get on side as the Hamilton side now looking for the restart. As I mentioned, the conversion was no good, but Southern Beaches are winning 33-13 against the Hamilton Hawks here at number 2 Sports Ground on the first day of semi-finals in the greater NHRU competition as the ball hoofed downfield there by the Hamilton Hawks, finding touch on the 22-metre line on the other side of the field.
Obviously okay. He nudged that 150
He doesn't kick with his neck, does he?
No, nice and low. Nice bounce, kind bounce. See how Southern Beach can't afford to switch off here. They can't afford to have that little lapse and give Hamilton a sniff. They're going to need more than a sniff to get back in this, but certainly Tim Chidgey would be after them to play some percentages, keep switched on, make this an 80-minute effort.
Yeah, Southern Beach's throw here. Line out's full. Ball comes up, and that's off the top there as the Hamilton players come through, but Delore cleans it up there at the halfback position. Probably going to look to pick and drive, and VAR takes the ball forward as he's done all day. He's been immense this game, VAR Taliva. And big Willie Fraser takes the ball off the back here, and little ball off the back there to his second row man.
Iopa, yeah, he's been strong. He's been nice and tight. We haven't seen much of him, which means he's doing his job.
Oh, pressure pass there by Delore from the back to his brother Michael. As Michael stands in the tackle, but Hamilton's taken the ball there, turned it over, and this is good attacking position here for the Hamilton Hawks.
The ball on the right here, the Hawks. Big Marty goes in, just a bit wide
Sutherland has the ball, he cuts out one. Vasakikakaku will take them on, and he does. Good little ball there on the outside to Monaco, mind you. There's Rado off the back there from halfback. Oh, and absolutely nailed by Willie So, and that's a good tackle.
Oh, no,
and he hasn't let the ball go, and that's a penalty there.
No, the touch judge got his flag out here.
I don't know about that.
Not on Big Willie. That was a cracking shot. He got him right under the rib cage. For mine, there's no way in the world. Again, we'll have a look at the video here. We'll have a look at the replay, hopefully. But, it looks like, I think, the touchies come in. We haven't seen him today, which is normally a good thing. We don't like the linesmen to get involved unless there's some real bad acts of foul play. But his mate's coming in as well. We'll have a look at this. I don't think there was too much in it. He came from the short side. He might have been offside, but certainly in terms of the hit, I thought it was a cracker.
I don't know if he's even offside. I just think it was a pretty good piece of play there and a good front rower's tackle, Jimmy.
No, he hasn't called him out. He's called someone else out, so it's not for this incident, thankfully.
Butler.
It certainly was a good, it was a good tackle.
Absolutely saw Chris Nagy coming and lined him up and crack.
Yeah, still Hamilton will get a penalty out of this, and this is exactly what they need.
Yeah, a couple of these Hamilton players, they'll be dreaming about Willie So tonight.
Yeah, of course, Big Willie played 3 or 4 seasons with the Hawks as well. Played in the losing grand final side at Hamilton. Was injured when they won the premiership. But they really need to get something out of this venture into the red zone, the Hawks. If they're going to make a revival, it has to happen now.
Yeah, he's called a high tackle there for something. Maybe a play earlier on. But Willie So's definitely was as a Hamilton throw in the line out there off the top. Nice play there. Sutherland with the ball now to Big Marta. Marta takes the ball forward and take a few to get him down here, and it does.
Yeah, they haven't got him involved enough for more. They need to see more of that from the Fijian.
Sealer from the back there as he takes it forward, and Beach's players maybe offside, and yes, Delbo's called. He's playing advantage as the Hamilton guys take the ball slowly forward, about 5 metres out here.
They got a back line set to the left, but they're going to the right, Ferry.
Oh, Ferry Harris, to Harris. Harris gets around his player. He's got outside, and he'll score the try there. Good try.
Yeah, Benny Harris, what we like to see. Looks like he's got that confidence back. He's got that swagger. He just did well to get outside his men, then produced a little a Matt Gidley flick, I guess you'd call it. And then Economou, he just had enough to get over the line. Desperately needed from the Hawks, but they need more.
Yeah, Economou, that's a good winger's try, that one, and supporting his fullback well in Ben Harris, who makes the most of it. Harris still struggling with that neck injury as we come back for the kick. And as we look at the replay here, getting set, Ferry with a shaky pass, and Harris just gets around his man in Ossel and flicks it out the back to Economou, and Economou, easy as you like.
Yeah, good vision there by Benny Harris. He saw he had he had the breakaway opposite him. He couldn't get him. He couldn't match pace with him. Once he got outside that breakaway, then it was always a case of numbers. They had to come in, the Hawks, and he produced that little nice pass out the side door and a good try.
Yeah, that brings the Hawks right back into this game. We're 16 minutes into the second half. We are here today for Bar TV and, of course, live for you on the Newcastle Herald. For all your rugby information in Newcastle, get to the Herald. And my colleague here today, Jimmy Garner, head writer for Rugby. How was the blog on Friday, Jimmy?
Mate, very good blog. It was back in action this week after a week off. Please join us next week, Fridays at 1 p.m. for all your rugby conversation. Go to the blog, www.theherald.com.au.
And he's hooked that kick wide, and the score remains 33 to Beaches, Hamilton 18. And the Beaches players a little bit slower to come back this time. Probably a little bit worn out. It's been a frenetic pace in this second half. As Butler with the ball. Couple of bounces, I'd imagine, and probably going to go left to the bottom of your screen.
I'm not going to overrule Dr. Jimmy on that one, mate.
Players set. And that's a big high kick there for Butler. Ferry catches the ball nicely and clean, and Gareth Tills charges onto the ball, bumps one out of the ball. That's a good run there by Tills.
Yeah, got opportunity to wound up there, didn't he? Nice short, flat pass.
Lamont with it now. Passes the ball out the back to Rata. Rata to Vasakika Kaku. Takes the ball through, and Rata backing up on the inside well, taking the ball up and lost the ball there.
Yeah, just a loose carry there. Not what they needed, the Hawks. They needed to keep rumbling forward. Good to see Gareth Tills wind up there. I want to see him do that more often. You want to see the Fijian do that more often.
Yeah.
He's done it once or twice, and he's nearly got through the line. They need him to get in the game if they're going to make a big comeback here.
Well, I used to live next door to Gareth Tills, and I've seen him wound up at midnight, that's for sure. So let's see him wind up today for the Hawks to get them back in this match.
Yeah, just going into the shell a little bit here, Southern Beaches. Danger signs. I think they need to get back on that front foot, play that enterprising stuff they're playing in the first half. They can't afford just to defend. That's just willing Hamilton back into the game.
Well, good scrum there by the Hawks as VAR takes it off the back and takes it back into his forward pack. And that's going to be a penalty there against the Hamilton Hawks. I'm not quite sure if we can get a check on that one.
Yeah, just not binding in the scrum, I think, is his call.
Yeah, I think it's for not binding in the scrum as Butler looks to kick for touch. Probably going to get him about 20 outs. Oh, a little bit better than that.
Oh, that's a great
Probably
kick.
About, I'd say 15 metres out there,
if you
attacking position.
You look at the linesman's flag, you can see how strong that wind now is. I think it's picking up from the south. I think you'll find the Hawks will spend a lot of time in this part of the field. There's a couple of changes coming on for the Hawks. Number 18, Chris Pusey, I think will come on. Yes, he comes on for Pete Maxwell, so I think we'll see a switch here. Steve Lamont will go to the side, and Chris Pusey will go to hooker. He is a real dynamic player, a real tackle buster, and one that can probably turn the game a bit if he gets his hands on the ball. Yeah,
interesting though. Maxwell has been all over the ball this game, so they might miss him though with the breakdown as the ball goes up and made a mess of in that line out there, but Beach has come up with it and take the ball to about 12 metres out now.
Big Willie
Fraser takes the ball forward. He loves this area of the field. Willie Fraser as he takes the ball forward, not making many moves, but hard to take down the short side. Willie so bumps off his winger and takes the ball forward, and he's probably about 5 metres out there. Vartalieva takes it forward, and he's through there, the other side, and will he get there? Yes, he does! That's a good individual try there by Vartalieva.
If there was going to be a comeback, there's not anymore, I don't think. That was a great little piece of passage there from the Southern Beaches. They just tucked it under their wing. Big Willie So did magnificently not to be taken into touch. Laid the ball back, and then Vartalieva, 5 metres out, very hard to stop. He used that leg drive to get through the first tackle, and from there, there was only going to be one result, and that was a try. Yeah, just attacking that channel there where Fallen would normally be defending, and they're missing him a big deal in this second half. Vartalieva, he's pretty flat-footed there. He hasn't much chance to wind up, but he tucks the ball down. Just that leg drive, beats through one tackle, poor attempt by Nagy, and then he's just too strong for the cover. He slams the ball on the try, and he knows how important that try is. Yeah, big try there for Vartalieva, the veteran and Anderson medal favourite at the moment. I'd like to take $1.10 about him winning the Anderson medal. I'd sell the house and have it all on it, mate. He's a machine, a great footballer. Last couple of years he's been hindered with injury, but this year he straps up like a racehorse every week. I think he dislocated his shoulder early on. They said it'd be 8 weeks. He was back in 2. That's the only. That's the sign of the man. He's an Iron Man. That's the only real issue he's had this year that we're aware of anyway. But yeah, when fit and when not encumbered by injuries, he's the best player in the competition. Oh, hands down, Jimmy, as Butler comes in and strikes the ball well.
And he nails it. And that'll stretch the score out now to 40 points to 18. Beaches really running away with this game in the qualifying semi-final, We're here today
I'll tell
at
you
number
what,
2.
going on this performance, Wanderers are going to have a fair bit to think about next week, that's for sure.
Yeah, it might be straight sets for Wanderers, Jimmy, dare I say.
I wouldn't say that, mate. I think we had a carton of beer early on in the year that Wanderers would make the grand final. I'm going to hold you to that if that's the case. But they're not over the line by any stretch. There are a couple of Wanderers players
ball
here
here now, and little dummy on the inside there, and Delore just holds it up and changes the ball over there. Little break there. Let's not talk about us anymore, and short little pass there to Marta takes the ball in, the big Fijian. As Ferry just directing his players. And big Gareth Hills takes it up and met there by Big Willie. So he pulls off another monster hit. And ball juggled on the back, and Bakarich cleans up nicely as he has done all day. Taking the ball forward over that ad line. And that's a penalty there. Holding on the ball, and that's very unlucky there for Bakarich. Pretty early to call that there, I think, Rob Delbo. And Gareth Hills just struggling to get up and absolutely met there by Big Willie. So that was probably his best one of the day. I think he just keeps getting better all match.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether he plays out the ground. I think he's playing on adrenaline at the moment. He's got through 60 minutes so far. He normally gets through, early in the season he was getting through 50 and 60, and him and Willie Fraser were sort of tag teaming, but that's another great ruse.
Oh, hasn't made touch there.
Keep it in.
Good work the way Economo was the replacement there.
Vasagotti's come on, looking to change the game up again here.
Yeah, Harris just coming to that neck injury, I think. And the ball shoots out the back for Beaches with VAR to leave it with the ball. And he'll hold up a couple and wait for his Beaches players to get around as he drives the ball forward to about the 20-metre line. Ball out there. Oh, poor pass, and Michael Delore cleans it up. Centre field now. Butler on the opposite way. Takes a step inside and dances around. And no one at Hamilton wants to take him on there and makes easy meters. Ossel there, good long pass out to Andy Delore. We'll put it on his toe, he does, and juggled around there. And Ossel with the try there for Ossel in the corner. That's a good Beaches try, and they just had numbers all around that ball there, Jimmy.
Urgency, effort, enthusiasm, it was all of them, wasn't it? The Hawks are gone here, their heads are down, their shot. They're going to struggle to get up to whoever they play next week, I think. I don't like the look of this for the Hawks. Danger signs. Not for today. Today's gone. I'm talking about next week.
Yeah, 45-18 now with a kick to come. This is an absolute demolition of this Hamilton Hawks side. I mean, they are suffering a couple of injuries and had a couple of setbacks with a couple of players not being able to play this week.
Have a look at that.
45-18 in a semi-final. This is shades of them beating Merewether Carlton in a grand final a couple of years ago. As Tills comes from the field. Was he given a yellow card then, Tills? As here we go on the replay. Delore to Ossel. Big long cut out there to Andy Delore. Puts the ball smartly on the foot and just too hard to get there for Marta. And Ossel comes back and chasing his own kick. And that's just plenty of numbers around the ball, Jimmy.
Yeah, that was just effort and urgency. Ossel was the one that threw that cutout pass to Andrew Delore. Looked like play was going to break down. He put the ball on the toe, and Ossel made the effort to get there first. Good try, good reward.
I think the only thing stopping Beaches next week against the Wanderers, Jimmy, will be the fitness of the Beaches side. Because, I mean, Wanderers definitely have the fittest side of the competition at the moment.
I wouldn't say the fitness is the only thing. They've only lost one game this year, so they've obviously got a little bit of ability in there as well somewhere. But, yes, it's certainly shaping as another cracking game. I think the entire final series is really mouth-watering. There's good games every week.
Yeah, as we talk about tomorrow's match, Merewether Carlton versus Waratahs, I mean, there was only a couple of points in that last round game that they played as well. So that should be an exciting game tomorrow, live again on Bar TV and, of course, the Herald websites. And that's a good take there by Beaches. They're just letting them have the ball now, it seems, the Hawks, and play on there. Everyone's standing around not knowing what's going on. Brett Sutherland.
You can see the frustration there in Steve Lamont. He had words with Rob Delbo in that last in goal there while they're waiting for that last goal to be kicked. And now the frustration over there, you see him demonstrating with his players, trying to lift them, but there's certainly not. There's no way back in this game. It looks like another injury with Benny Harris looking at his neck on the sideline here. So further worrying signs for the Hawks.
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not been a lack of commitment today, Jimmy. I mean, Hamilton have tried everything, but they've come up with nothing, and the Beaches side have just been unbelievable.
Yep, outplayed them, out-hustled them, outplayed them, out-bustled them, out-everything them.
Yeah, you got to remember there's still about 15 minutes to go as well in this game as the ball deflected there from the clearing kick, and that's a long pass there to Vasagotti, who looks to, bumps off his opposition marking in there, and that's a penalty to the Hawks, and offside there.
Now this is, while the game's gone, this is a very important 15 minutes for Hamilton. This can, if this blows out to 60 or 70, this could really absolutely blow their confidence out of the water. They could be shot ducks. If they can show some resolve in this final 15 minutes, get some tries back, get some points on the board, that'll at least give them a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum heading into next week. I always think it's difficult when you're coming off a loss as opposed to coming off a team that's on the up, winning a game in a semi-final. So they'll really want to get something out of this last 15 minutes.
Yeah, the score is Southern Beaches 45, Hamilton 18. Probably want to get to about 30 points here, the Hamilton Hawks, to make the score a little bit more respectable. And they've got the team to do it if they can just get a little bit more committed to this match.
Yeah, another little interchange there. Looks like Ben Harris must have been on the head bin. He's back out there, and Fisay Lazagotti has come back to the bench.
A good little jinking run in there by Rata, putting the ball back, setting the ball back. Ferry scooting around, and that's a short pass there to Bakaric, who had no one with him, taking the ball in himself. He's been good though, Bakaric, as Ferry takes a little scoop from halfback. Oh, and the big front rower passes the ball now. Rata cleaning up and gets around one, dances and stands and gets around another. Big Willie Fraser meets him now and just throws him to the ground there. And Ferry now passing the ball out to Vasagotti. Vasagotti going to chance his arm and loses the ball in that one-handed throw that he seems to love so much. It didn't work for him there as Marshall comes through now, and he kicks the ball forward. I don't think it's come off his hand. It hasn't, and that's a try!
Yeah, just got a little bit lazy there, Timmy Walton. Got a little bit lazy. He took his time, and again, Marshall, effort, enthusiasm, the two things I keep mentioning. He just hustled. He got there, put the pressure on the winger. He spilled the biggies, and Marshall was on the spot. There was a hint of whether he may have knocked it on, but the referee was on the spot, awarded the try, and that's 50 for Beaches. Who would have thought that coming into this game?
Quick as they come. I mean, I know you picked them for the upset, but I tell you what, this is very upsetting for Hamilton supporters.
Yeah, I don't think the Sunnyside Tavern will be real sunny this afternoon. There'll be the rain cloud will be coming over. There'll be some dark moods in there. They've got to have a good hard look at themselves. They've got to go back to the drawing board and find a way back.
And here we go to the replay as the little kick comes through, and Marshall, look at the pace from Marshall as he just puts the ball on the toe at the last end. Maybe a little bit lucky there. I don't think it came off his hand. The referee's called it as not coming off his hand, and that's a pretty good try there for Marshall. Just on the ball, enthusiastic, and just getting over the line.
I'll tell you what, he's had to work to get into this first grade side because he's taken the spot at Lockie Wade, and Lockie Wade was very good early on. He's a young kid, 18-year-old, big, strong winger, very fast, sort of different style to Den Marshall, but he's got back in first grade and he's made the most of it, and today he's been very, very good.
I mean, Tim Chidgey obviously very thorough in his selections and coaxing Marshall over the side, so he would have known at the start of the year how Marshall could play. As the kick comes and just goes wide there by Butler.
He's also their strength and conditioning coach for Southern Beaches, so he's involved in everything. He, of course, was with Tim Chidgey back in 2006 at the Waratahs when they won the premiership there. So they've got a long history, and he knows he can trust him. He's got faith in him.
Offside there, way in front, the Hamilton side, and Delbo, I think, plays advantage, but he was about a metre in front there, the Hamilton player of the touchline. And trouble here for Hamilton's. Ossel gets the ball down and the ball bounces, and Harris cleans it up nicely. He's got Rada on his outside coming back, passes it to Rada. Rada's got a little bit of room here to move, and a little flick out the back there to Vasagotti, and Vasagotti taken down at about 35 metres out. Ferry with the ball. Big Poosey taking the ball now. Poosey into Big Willie. Who would have thought? Only in the greater NHRU competition. The ball comes out now to Sutherland. Sutherland to Marta. Marta bumps off one, and that one-handed pass comes out the back. The big Fijian one-handed pass hasn't been really working for these Hamilton guys today.
Yeah, nothing's really worked for them, has it? That first 10 minutes, they were all over. It was 10-0 after 10 minutes. We thought, okay, Hamilton's on their job here, but things just changed quickly, and pretty much when Liam Forlan went over, the whole game just changed complexion.
Penalty blown there by Rob Dalbo, and the Beaches players just losing their feet in that ruck there. And Harris is down again. He's having a bit of trouble in this second half, Harris.
I'll tell you what, if I was Chris Coleman, I don't know how many substitutes they've used, but I'd be taking him off and putting him in cotton wool, because if Liam Fallen's injured next week, they certainly need Ben Harris there.
Yeah, Ben Harris probably has to move into the 5'8" position, I believe, next week if Fallen is going to be out.
Here comes the subs for our Southern Beaches.
Oh.
They're clocking off. I think we'll see some of their big fellas rewarded here with an early mark.
Yeah, and as Big Willie Fraser makes his way to the back, and Big Willie so, and I expect the crowd to erupt for these two big boys, and they've been absolutely phenomenal, especially Willie so, who for mine's probably been man of the match for the Beaches side, just intimidating everyone with those big hits, and his run, he's so hard to take down, isn't he? The entire front row comes off as the guys get clapped off the field, the Beaches front row, and then they've been the anchor for this Beaches side today.
It's a reward for a job well done, and a couple of changes in the backs as well. Mark Butler's come off, so Michael Delore will go to 5'8", and Tavita Awong comes to the inside centre. He's a big, strong inside centre. That's the thing about Beaches this year. They've got depth there.
Pusey with the ball. Pusey made a little break and held up there by the Beaches side. Good tackle there by Lamb. As the ball comes out of the back, good short ball there to Ackersdyke. Ackersdyke about a metre out now. Ball coming quickly now. Percy with the ball. He'll drive over. He'll bury over. Will he get there? No, he's held up short. Good Beaches defence there. Beaches player coming over, and that'll be a penalty. That might even be a yellow card here.
Yeah.
And the referee's calling for the yellow card, and the yellow card has been given there to Ossel, I believe it is. And goes through there, drives over, and no, referee calls it back. Marta there.
Yeah, sums up the Hawks Day, doesn't it? They get over the line and it's pulled back. Yeah, Tyler Ossel, just a professional foul in their own end zone. As it looks like Benny Harris has finally succumbed to that headlock. He doesn't look real flash coming off here.
We won't see Ossel again this game with about 7 minutes to go as the Hamilton Hawks side looking to get some points back in this game. The ball goes wide there to Nagy. Nagy taking the ball down pretty high in that ruck, but gets the ball back as they look to ruck it. Hamilton players desperate to score a try and just rucking towards this line here. They have got numbers out wide if they can use it, but halfback there caught in the ruck. But they do pass it out through Lamont. Sutherland throws the ball to Rada. Rada now to Vasagotti. Vasagotti splits them, and no. Good defence there by Beaches.
Yeah, just going sideways again, the Hawks here. They need someone to come in on the angle and straighten that up. But still, they've got the ball 5 metres out. They can still do something from here.
As they take the ball from the back here. Ferry calling players around him. They've got everyone sucked in, it seems. And Lamont, I think, tries to crash over. Doesn't get there. As the ball in that ruck. Nagy with it. Held up. Ball still at the back there. Ferry controlling the play. They've only got two players out there in the back line as Marta takes the ball in. Or was it Vasagotti? I'm unsure. Ball in the ruck there. Slowly moving for Pussy at the back. Pussy driving over. And is he there? Yes, he is. That's a try there to Pussy. Is it? No. I thought he was over there.
Yeah, certainly a try to someone.
He has called it, yes. He has called it.
Yeah, Percy, we'll give it to him anyway. Not that it's going to matter. It's all just consolation now. I was saying before, Southern Beaches, the last two times they've made the semis, they've had a very good first-grade side, but they've really dropped off quickly. Whereas now they've got some depth in the club. They're second grade one today. A very good win over Merrill the Carlton. So they're through to a grand final qualifier. So they've got that depth. So when they do have injuries or they do make replacements, they bring fresh guys on and they're up to standard. So a lot to like about them.
Yeah, definitely. Southern Beaches, they've been so impressive here today. And that really is a consolation try, as you said, Jimmy, as we look at the replay. And really all the Hamilton players committing to these ruck. There was only two players out in the back line as Percy just gets a try from the back there, just dives over and just on the line, I believe. As he takes the kick there, Sutherland, and gets it. That's one for the ages by Brett Sutherland. As the score now, 50 points to 23. 25, sorry, with the kick. My mistake. And there's been a few today. As Butler comes back now for the kick.
Yeah, just clock off time now for Beaches. That's why they've brought on some fresh legs. They won't want to finish this game by conceding a couple of lazy tries. So they'll look to up the ante here these last 5 minutes and really close the game out.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go as Marta takes the ball forward, and that's the strongest he's been all day, Marta, taking the ball forward. Oh, good short ball there to Bakarich, and he's been probably their best in the forwards there, I believe.
Yeah,
and he loses the ball, though.
The ground.
That's unlucky
Oh,
there.
bit
That's a knock-on, double knock-on both
bit unlucky,
ways.
bit unlucky there, Southern Beaches. I think that one came out of Baccarat's first knock on there, but they've awarded a Southern Beaches knock on first. So lucky the game's on the line. Probably one of the few most mistakes I think Rob Delbo's made.
Yeah, Pusey's been impressive since he's been on as well. Maybe see him coming to this side next week.
Yeah, I think they need to change up somehow. Certainly Steve Lamont will be there. He might move to the side. Maybe Pete Maxwell is the one that makes way there. Akersdyke's been solid, but he's lacking a bit of match fitness at blindside, so maybe Pete Maxwell to 6.
For me, I'd start with Pete Maxwell
7.
just for the experience factor, you know. But Tills takes it from the back, and there's a bit of a error in judgment there as they go back the other way. And Vasagotti takes a step inside and taken down. And he's had a bit of a spark since he's come on too, Vasagotti. But he turns the ball over now, and the Beaches side takes the ball forward.
Yeah, I don't think the back row's the problem for the Hawks. I think finding a 10 will be the problem. Matt Ferry's really stepped up. He's been good from at 9. He's answered the question there.
Willie Fraser back on the field. Don't know what happened there, but it's a knock-on called by Rob Delbo. And this game pretty much over, I believe.
Yeah, that's where the issue will be for Hamilton next week. They've got to find a 10. As you mentioned, Ben Harris, he might be an option. Maybe Brett Sullivan. Brett Sullivan's a good footballer, experienced footballer. As we said, different style of play. He's a catch and pass player. But with a week with the team, you know, it's a lot easier to come in and control things. When you come off the bench, not expecting to play, you know, it's certainly a different kettle of fish. So interesting to see what moves they make, Chris Coleman. They just had injuries at the wrong time of the year for the Hawks. They certainly need to find an answer very quickly.
Yeah, I don't think catch and pass really is going to work for the Hawks.
Yeah, they've got Rob Smith is the other one. They missed Jason Keeling. My understanding is that he's at least a couple of weeks away with this osteopubis, but Rob Smith might be back next week. He sort of come in and did a job at 10 for a couple of weeks before injuring his shoulder. He certainly is very direct. And
yeah, definitely.
If they can get him back, at least strap him up and send him out there, he could be the one that could be the man.
As the Hamilton player comes off now. Is he the replacement front rower?
Replacement front row. So I think they're going to have to send one of their front rowers back on.
Silla comes back on. He'll be unhappy with that one. He's been
nothing worse.
These scrums have been pretty hard all game for these players.
Nothing worse than a front row when you've stuck your head in the scrum for 75 minutes. You finally get a breather, you sit down, relax, and then all of a sudden you get the tap on the shoulder, warm back up again. Particularly when you're coming on first up for a scrum. So
the bread and butter, and the scrum collapses there, and probably good reason because he wasn't really ready for it. He just jumped in there, Silla, and hugged his hooker and then packed the scrum.
Hamilton set up to the left here. I think you'll find they'll run this. There's no point in kicking it too much. They need to try and get some points in this last couple of minutes to finish on a high. They're set deep to the left, actually.
Better scrum this time. Ball comes in. Ferry at the back, but Gareth Tills takes it to the blind side. No one there. The Hamilton backline was set very deep. I'm sure they'll be filthy, but it's a number 8's prerogative to go himself sometimes as the Hamilton
tackle
side.
from Glenn Stone. He's done a power work, the number 6 for the Beaches this game. Very impressive.
As they take it blind again and gives it back to Tills, and he's met there with a big hit by Willie Fraser this time.
I'll tell you what,
he'll be dreaming of Willies all night.
Mate, he keeps coming back, doesn't he, Tills? He keeps sticking his hand up. He's been belted 5 or 6 times, but still he's there trucking it up as they go left, the Hawks.
Oh, good long cutout bar there to
Economou chimes in. He's got
I'm glad you said that. He's a bit of a mouthful of Economou.
Yeah, but he's passed it to Dan Marshall there. All that good work undone by a sloppy little pass. I guess they have to test their arm at this point. Southern Beaches can just close the game down here. They got a penalty. They kick this to the corner. All that time over into injury time. Can they finish off with a flurry and get another 5-pointer to finish the game?
Yeah, I don't know. The Beaches losing that win, and that's another good kick there by Delore this time it is. And just outside the 20-metre line, this will be probably the last play in this match. Beaches will, as you said, want to put some points on. And the backs are there talking about what they're going to do. Probably something they've tried at training all year, but never actually done in game time, I'd imagine. Something out of the Tim Chidgey playbook, Jimmy.
Something out of the comics book, mate. That's what they do, don't they? Backs at training, read comic books. That was the fable anyway, the urban myth. Pete Backer has got a cut. Looks like he's got a cramp here, and probably fair enough. He's got through a lot of work for Pete Backer. He's been one that's really stuck at the task for the Hawks.
What do you think Delore is? Do you think he's a Spider-Man guy or a Batman guy?
I think he's an Aquaman guy. He's a Whitebridge boy.
Aquaman.
Yeah, Whitebridge boy. They love to surf, those boys, the Delores. Whitebridge High's boys.
Neptune.
Whitebridge High boys, the 3 of them. So
you can just imagine.
maybe they
with
could be the Wonder Twins. Remember the Wonder Twins?
No, I don't, Jimmy.
Oh, I'm a bit older than you. My vintage.
I'm a Danger Mouse man, to be honest. As the ball comes in now for the Beaches and easily picked off, and they're going to go take the ball upfield with a maul here, but Hamilton defending it really well.
Yeah, both sides a bit high with their body height there, but still.
To leave her in the
Ball at
back.
here.
Ball now to Delore, and that's a short ball and nothing doing there. And Rada looks to throw the big pass. He's got Economoto on the outside there, but he's not going to get it. And met well there by the replacement front row. And Rada now gets around his man, and that ball in one hand and back to Tilson. Tilson will take the ball forward, safety first. But no one there at the back there, and Beach is coming over, counter-rucking really well, and Lamont gets there.
Oh, they're all offside, Beaches there. Got away with that one. They're up very quick off the line. Still, the Hawks have got numbers on the left here. All they got to do is pass it, you'd think.
Oh, Pusey stuck with the ball. Pusey meets Willie Fraser, and he gets through him, and that's the first time you see Pusey get through a big Willie.
That's the third time you've tried that line.
Been trying all day. No worry.
Ferry,
and that's a good little halfback play there by Ferry, and kicks the ball, but the number 20 replacement there for Beaches cleans it up nicely. And that's a poor pass there. Poor execution, but this game all but gone here. And Rob Delbo
looks at his watch. They
looks
can't
at
be
his
long
watch.
to
They
go.
can't be.
Play this line out.
Everyone out there wanting the game to be called off. The score is 50 points to 25.
What's your option, mate? What do you want? Scrum or water?
There's players down in the backfield there for the Hamilton Hawks, but they'll play on.
Yeah, that looks like Chris Pusey too, so that's not a good sign. He's been one that's provided a spark and a bit of impact off the bench. They certainly can't afford to lose too many.
As the ball comes in from Lamont off the back there for Ferry. Ferry comes through. Taken about 15 out as the Hamilton guys come over, just rucking and mauling. They're going to keep this in tight, I'd imagine. Just practicing a few ruck plays here.
Yeah, Lamont again. Yeah, you can tell he's frustrated by this. He's trucking up every third or fourth hit.
Yeah, he's really lifted, but he's left his run a little bit too late. If he wanted to lift the team, it should have been at half-time. As the ball comes down to Tills, who, again, he stepped up as well with about 15 to go, but probably leaving his run too late. 5 metres out now as Backarich comes forward and sniffs. He can sniff one out, Backarich. And, Ackersdyke drops the ball there. Beaches have it. Michael Delore kicks it out. That should be full-time here. Delbo looks at his watch, and yes, he is called full-time here for the great NHRU in Hamilton versus Southern Beaches. We've been here today for Bar TV and, of course, the Newcastle Herald. Thanks very much, Jimmy Gardner, again.
Back here tomorrow, mate.
And we'll be back here tomorrow.
Elimination semi-final, Merriweather versus Waratah, but that one, all Southern Beaches, too good, too big, too fast.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today for Bar TV, the home of grassroots sports. And, of course, again, the Newcastle Herald. I've been Gareth Wozik. Thanks, everyone, again, for listening in. I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks, Jimmy.